We're live.
We are live. Hey guys, it's James here.
And John, hello.
Yeah. And we're here today to talk about the OnePlus 5T.
We are.
It's a phone you've been reviewing for quite a while.
But
before we get onto that, we have a sponsored competition with Honor at the moment. You can win an Honor 7X, so their new mid-range phone that's just been announced. You can find all of the information for that in the description below. The bad news is you're going to need to be over 18 and you're going to need to live in the UK, but you can find all of those details there. Sponsored by Honor. Yeah, go and try and win yourself a phone.
Them the rules.
Yeah, go do that. Cool, right, so let's talk about the OnePlus 5T. This is a phone you've been using for quite a long time now, actually.
Yeah, a few weeks now.
Have you enjoyed it?
I have enjoyed it. You know what? It's a lovely phone. It's a lovely phone, James. You can read my full review on Tech Radar, where I'll go into all the detail that you need, but I'm going to answer some questions from you guys if you've got any specific questions about the 5T, and I can just run through some of the key features as well. That first key feature is the screen. Big 6-inch display, the biggest screen OnePlus has ever put on a phone. 18:9 aspect ratio, so it's taller than your standard 16:9 screen. A popular aspect ratio with a lot of phones this year. And it's nice, it's AMOLED, it's bright, it's clear. The one thing that people may pick up on though is it's only Full HD. We're seeing most premium flagship phones come with QHD displays, 2K displays this year, so in terms of screen resolution it's not as high as its rivals, but it still looks really good. In isolation, you're not really going to notice too much about that resolution. Movies and games still look good. As I say, the AMOLED panel really helps with colour, brightness and vibrancy, so that helps. Another big thing is face unlock. So if I just shut that off quickly and have a look at it, and it boots straight into partially unlock, straight in. It works really well.
This is a similar thing to what you're getting on the iPhone X, basically.
Similar, but certainly not the same. So face unlock here works well in good light here, even in street lights at night as well it works well, but it won't work in the dark. So if you're lying in bed and hold the phone up, even with the screen on the lock screen, that's not going to be enough light to display your face for the camera to see, unlike the iPhone X, which has an infrared camera and lets you see in the dark.
I did it again.
So yeah, so it is good, but you do get that fingerprint scanner on the back as well, which is really handy. Means that you can override it. You don't have to use the face stuff. The fingerprint scanner works just as quickly as the one on the front did on previous OnePlus handsets, so that's really good. It fills nicely under finger as well when you're holding the phone. A
lot of phones are putting the fingerprint scanner in that position at the moment.
Yeah, because everyone's optimizing the front for the screen. As you can see here, smallish bezels above and below, much smaller than previous OnePlus handsets. Again, there's no physical nav keys below that screen. They're all on screen now as well, allowing you to make the most of that display, which is really nice.
So yeah, just before we carry on, let's just say if you've got any questions about the OnePlus 5T, throw them over and I'll ask them over to John,
Stick them in the
who's used this phone for quite a long time now, so you should be able to answer as much as possible. First question is from Riyad Khan, who asks, how fast is Face Unlock? You kind
How
of
fast
on that?
is the Face Unlock? It's about 0.4 seconds, so pretty darn quick. So, I mean, it's difficult to show you it unlocking and here, but as soon as so I'm going to press the power lock button and we're unlocked already. I mean, it's that quick.
It's instant.
It's less than a second. So yeah, really fast, and for the majority of the time, it works well. It doesn't have any issues recognizing my face. Even at angles like this, it works. I'm not even looking at it. It's at a slight angle. It can still unlock.
I can confirm it did work there.
I know. So yeah, it is good. Yeah, is it the best? Maybe Apple's is better. Okay, but it's still a decent. It still works well enough. And as I say, you've got the fingerprint scanner as well. For OnePlus, it's more of a proof of concept. It's proving to themselves and proving to us that it can do it. It can make Face Unlock a reality. And while it only unlocks the handset for now, OnePlus's ambition going forward is to roll it out to more apps and banking and Android Pay. Maybe not on this phone, but in future phones. But it's the first stepping stone to something which could be a lot bigger.
Not really a question here, but someone has asked, someone has stated it's still not a big upgrade from the OnePlus 5.
That is correct, which is why it's called the OnePlus 5T, and it's come out only 6 months after the OnePlus 5, which is now not on sale anywhere, so you've got the 5T only. It's not a huge upgrade, but the bigger screen for some people will be nice. The relocation to the fingerprint scanner, it still fits nicely under finger. Face unlock is nice, but certainly not a necessity. The rear camera, still dual rear cameras, but there's been a slight change here. Focal length and aperture are now matched across the 16 and the 20 megapixel Sony sensors, which means the depth effect, the portrait mode that you get is now done digitally rather than using the different focal lengths of the cameras. What it has done is improved the low light capabilities. 20 megapixel camera will automatically kick in when light goes below 10 lux, put in some more extra light. I found that it works okay. There are situations where it works well when you're steady and it's a non-moving scene and it's not loads and loads of lights in low light. If there's a busy cityscape, it's slightly more muddy and blurry in its results. It's not the best camera, but it's still very good considering the price point, which is the same as the OnePlus 5, which is nice. There's been no increase over that. They kept the price the same.
That's one of the first times OnePlus has done that. Generally, since the OnePlus 1, we've seen the price rise and rise and rise. So it's good that the price has stopped at that point, really. Again, WWE and Dragon Ball Hub, what a YouTube name, great work. How secure is Face Unlock? Can it be fooled by 2D images? You've done a bit of testing with similar thing?
I have done some testing, yeah. A couple of photos that I've used of myself didn't manage to fool it.
Yeah.
I've also worn various disguises, hats, glasses, masks. If my eyes are clear, generally it does well. I had a hat down over one of my eyes, didn't like it. Oh no, actually, over one of the eyes still was okay, over both eyes didn't like it. I also wore some sort of weird steampunk-esque goggles, which did give quite a lot of reflection over the eyeglass, which I didn't like, but normal pair of glasses, absolutely no problem. So yeah, it seems reasonably secure. It's not as easily fooled as the old Android Face Unlock of years ago, which could be fooled quite easily. It's much more sophisticated now. I can't guarantee how secure it is, and as we've seen with iPhone 10, there will be some rare cases where it will get fooled. I pass this around my family, my brothers. People always comment how similar me and my brothers look. I don't agree with it.
They do look similar.
I'm much better looking, but I pass it around the family and friends, and it hasn't unlocked for anyone else. So it seems pretty good at the moment.
I've just put a link into the full review which John wrote on Tech Radar. If you go to the camera section, you can, well, the Face Unlock section actually, you can see some of the disguises that John wore when he was testing out the phone, and see him in different sombreros and stuff. So we've got Veseline has asked, which phone do you like better personally, the S8 or the 5T? So one of the best phones of the year, Galaxy S8 from Samsung, launched earlier this year, or the 5T that's coming at the tail end of the year?
It's a great question, and for some people, the OnePlus 5T will be the best phone of the year, just simply because of its price point. £449, $499 it starts at. It's a really good price. Some flagship features, flagship power, premium design. So it really depends on what you want for a phone. OnePlus is that sort of cool upstart brand, doing something a bit different, but offering you a decent amount of bang for your buck. Although it's a bit more rough around the edges. Samsung, the S8 is a far more refined product. It pulls all the features together really nicely, and every feature performs really well. The camera, for example, in the S8 is much better. The display on the S8 is better, but of course, it costs more. If money was no object, then I would still probably pick the S8 just for its all-round package that it offers. But if I'm in a budget and the S8 is simply too expensive, then I would not feel bad about picking up the 5T.
Yeah, and if we see any other phones launched from Samsung at the start of next year, which we're hearing rumours at the moment, the Galaxy S9 may be at least announced at CES in January.
We might get a teaser trailer.
Yeah, that may make the Galaxy S8 price drop down a little bit, and then maybe it'd be a little kind of bit more on the par.
The S8 price has already dropped since its launch earlier this year, so it is interesting. So the S8 is now slightly more affordable if you're buying it SIM-free, and generally if you're getting a 5T, you're buying it SIM-free, so those are the prices that you look at. So they have become slightly closer in price. The S8 is still a bit more if you can afford it. I would personally go for the S8. I like its all-round feature set, and it is a more premium phone altogether, and it's got a higher price tag because of that. But as I say, if you're on a budget, the 5T is still a really, really good option.
Sure. WWE and Dragon Ball is back in the comments again. He has asked, are there any upgrades to the front camera compared to the OnePlus 5?
No, it is the same 16 megapixel camera.
And that's fine. The OnePlus 5 front camera was actually pretty good, so I don't really think that's much of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, really, perfect for Snapchat, video chats. It's not going to blow you away with resolution, but it can record full HD video. And yeah, works great for your social.
Yeah, and we also have a comment from Mohammed Faris who's asking if they're going to launch the Lava Red OnePlus 5T in India.
Okay, interesting. So I've spoken to OnePlus already about this. So Lava Red was launched exclusively in China. It looks very nice. I mean, reminiscent of a certain iPhone in red. But yeah, looks really good. I've spoken to OnePlus, and at the moment they have no plans or no news to announce it in other countries. But going on what they've done in the past, they have released just colours later down the line. Soft gold seems to be one they like to hold back and then release. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we're in constant contact with OnePlus. So as soon as it happens, we'll be letting you know.
Cool, awesome. Okay, someone's commented HTC U11 Plus. If you can't ask, you need to ask me a question. I need to know what you're.
Interesting phone. I've actually tried this out, the U11 Plus. Our full review will be coming soon, but it is an interesting phone. It feels a bit like a phone that maybe HTC should have launched at the start of the year. Maybe it's the phone that the U11 should have been.
Yeah.
The U11 Plus is very nice. I do like the improved screen size and the reduction of bezels, slightly tinkered camera. It is still very expensive, and because it's just come out, unlike the S8 which has dropped in price, and the U11 has dropped in price because they came out earlier this year, it's come out at a full whack, so it's considerably more expensive than the 5T. So again, you'll have to think about where your priorities lie.
Yeah. So Rin Azula, I think I've pronounced that right, is asking, does it have dual OIS tech on the rear camera? I'm assuming that's what
it does not. No. There you are.
Is that a problem?
I haven't found it to be much of a problem. It does have electronic image stabilization, which does a pretty good job. But yeah, again, it's one of the features that OnePlus has skipped in favour of trying to deliver a lower price point. And for the most part, it's not an issue. But of course, if video is important to you, or certain types of photography are important to you, then it could become a problem. So yeah, if you're really keen on those certain areas and those certain features, then maybe you will want to look to pay a bit more anyway for a more improved camera phone. Is
there anything else you found missing from this phone in your day-to-day life? Are there any features?
Not really, no. I was pretty happy with it. The screen resolution, just because I'm around phones with QHD screens all
surrounded
the time.
by them, they're always around.
I mean, just taped to my walls at home, just for me to look at.
Notifications everywhere.
I do notice sometimes, especially if I'm watching a movie, that this resolution isn't as good as another phone, V30, S8, etc. But apart from for someone who's just bought a phone and is buying another phone, the likelihood that you'll really notice is very low.
Renzula has also asked, what version of Oxygen OS is the OnePlus 5T running?
It's the latest version. I want to say 5, but let me have a quick look. I've definitely got some cheat notes just here.
And that's based on Android 7.1,
It is, so it hasn't launched with the latest version.
Do you think the OnePlus 5T will get Android 8 reasonably soon, or is that something that's going to come?
Yes, well, they've already confirmed that Android 8 will be coming to the 5T in the near future. The exact date has not yet been revealed, but it's worth noting that it's arrived this week or last week on the OnePlus 3 and 3T, which means that they've got their house in order, so we can only expect it to be arriving soon for the 5 and 5T.
It is weird though, isn't it, that their flagship phone doesn't have that. Wow, if you own one of the phones from last year,
I guess
it's a little bit strange.
But at the same time, it's good to see them still supporting the phones from last year, and giving them a boost. And
definitely.
Oreo is more behind the scenes updates. Visually, you're not really going to notice much difference. I know a couple of people with 3Ts and 3s, and they've downloaded Oreo, and they're like, it's just the same. And okay, on the surface, Oreo it's more the behind the scenes stuff that Oreo brings and the future proofing that it provides, where its strengths lay. So while it doesn't launch with Oreo, visually there's not much difference really to notice.
Cool. The inevitable question: what's battery life like, and how does that compare to what you got with the OnePlus 5? What are you?
I find the battery life is slightly better than the OnePlus 5, which is odd because I was worried because it's got the same size battery as the 5, 3,300 milliamps. But I'm finding it really good. Easily lasts a day with moderate usage. That includes Spotify streaming, a bit of gaming, social media activity, Snapchat, WhatsApp, emails, web browsing, phone calls as well. I still make phones on this. Mental.
Still make phones.
I know. I make phones. I make the phones off the calls. But yeah, I'm finding it easily lasts a day. What are we on now? It's been used quite a lot because we've been filming other videos with it, so screen on time has been quite a lot. So we're on 3:45 in the afternoon. We're on 45%, so we're more than halfway through the day. 45%. I mean, had we not been filming with this phone today and I've been using it more normal usage, I'd be closer to sort of maybe 55-60% at this time. It means by the time I come to get into bed about 11 p.m. at night, I've got 15 to 20% left in the tank.
Yeah.
I'm taking it off charge at about 6:30 each morning, so that is a good full day of usage from a single charge. I'm not worried going out in the evening that it's going to run out on me. There is a low power mode as well if it is getting a bit tight. Something else it does offer, not wireless charging. That's okay. Again, full metal body makes that difficult.
Exactly.
And also at the price point, it would have added extra cost to include it. So that's fine. I'm cool with that. It does offer OnePlus's dash charge technology. That's 0 to 60% in half an hour with the dash charge plug, which is good. Great for a little top out if you're about to head out for the night.
Definitely. And you didn't really compare that to the OnePlus 5 battery.
OnePlus 5. I said it's better, James.
Did you? Okay.
Slightly
Didn't really
better.
listen to that.
Yeah. So the OnePlus 5 did last a day, but the 5T feels like it does it slightly more comfortably. It's not going to give you a day and a half. It's not going to give you 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it can give you 2 days if you're a really light user, but if you're, a moderate user, you can happily expect it.
And that's impressive because this does feature the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835,
It does.
which was inside the OnePlus 5.
Yep.
The fact it's using the same processor and everything.
Well, the hope is that
certainly a
OnePlus
good
is
thing.
improving their software optimization under the hood, which is something where they're not quite as advanced as the big manufacturers. The established names are better at optimizing the software to work with various different bits of hardware inside the phone, and OnePlus is still learning in that respect, so it is good to see them improving their behind-the-scenes efforts.
Cy Ram has asked, can you tell the difference between the Galaxy S8 display and the OnePlus display?
You absolutely can. If you put them side by side, yes, you can. However, if you're just looking at this on their own, I'm looking at this now. Looks great, doesn't it, James? Look at this. Looks amazing. Nice. But yes, if you put the two side by side, the S8 does look better.
Yeah, you can immediately know.
It's as simple as that. But again, it was when it launched double the price. It's not now. But yeah.
No particular questions on this, but we've seen a few different comments come up about the headphone jack.
Boom!
There is
right
one.
There.
Boom.
So yeah, OnePlus made a big deal. They're one of their co-founders, Carl Pei, made quite a few cheeky tweets in the lead up to the launch, basically hinting that they were going to keep the headphone jack, and they have done again here, which is good, saying that a lot of their fans still want that feature and they're not ready to get rid of it yet. So will they get rid of it next year? We simply don't know. There will be an increased pressure, I'm sure, from other aspects of the industry, which may see them ditch it, but nothing has been confirmed yet, so it'll be interesting to see where they go.
Cool. And Vesseline has also asked about OnePlus's after-sale customer support.
Yes.
We can't really comment too much on that.
OnePlus always says that it's getting better, it's improving, it's opening up more call centres in Europe, it's opened up more repair services and facilities in Europe and in other countries as well. But it is aware that it's something it continually needs to work on. It has had a bad rap in the past and it has got better. I'm sure there's still room for improvement, but it is something it seems to be aware of, and it talks about it a lot and how it's improving it. So hopefully that is getting relayed to current customers now. I mean, obviously, there may still be a way to go.
Yeah, need to give a shout out to the British Unknown who's just jumped into our chat room.
My
hey,
man.
If you've got any questions, put them in. I haven't really seen any other questions jump up that we need to answer, I think. So kind of give a bit of a verdict. How are you feeling about the OnePlus 5T right now?
It's really, 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 really good. I really like it. It's a phone that I enjoy using. It feels nice in the hand. The screen is great. There's so much power under the hood. The cameras are good. They're not exceptional. If you want an exceptional camera, get a Google Pixel 2 or 2 XL. That camera is sublime. Yeah. But it's really good. And again, you've just got to... I keep thinking about the price. This phone is half the price of some of the biggest phones out there on the market, yet it doesn't feel that far removed from them. It happily mixes it with the big boys. It's the best phone OnePlus has made to date, which you would hope so. It's the latest phone, but it feels like the most well-rounded package that they've offered. It's not a huge jump up from the 5. If you've got a 5, there's no need to move to this unless you're desperate for that slightly taller screen and a bit of face action, but the 5 is just as good. And it puts the company in an interesting position for next year because they've got so close to the flagship competition, and it makes it exciting. What are they going to do with the OnePlus 6? What are they going to give us? Are we going to see a new design? The 3 and the 3T shared the same design. The 5 and the 5T have basically shared the same design. So we could see a new design as well next year. Maybe a QHD screen. Maybe not a headphone jack. Who knows? But it's a really good all-round phone and puts OnePlus in a really interesting position.
Yeah, definitely, and it's hit into our best phone list as well. So check that out to see our full ranking. I think it's in position 10 or so. So yeah, it's hitting up there with the big boys, basically.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, cool. We do have a question for the British Unknown though, so we need to answer that one. What is everyone's opinion on the similarities to the iPhone in design? I think you're going to ask us that a little bit, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, the dual camera setup on the back is very reminiscent to an 8 Plus or a 7 Plus. Even the black finish is quite iPhone-y. The iPhone designs aren't bad, and some people will argue that Apple didn't come up with the designs first. Nokia or HTC. I mean, a lot of phones look like a lot of phones these days. Doesn't look like an iPhone X. I'll give it that. Sorry, iPhone 10. But yeah, a lot of phones look like a lot of other phones at the moment. And yeah, I'm not too offended, and I don't feel like it's taking any particular liberties with the design this time around. And as I say, it's so close to the 5 that it's nothing new.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Just to mention again, our Honor 7X competition. If you're in the UK and you're over 18, check out the description below where you will be able to win a Honor 7X. Well, we're going to try and win an Honor 7X anyway. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.